When we think about the highest level of League of Legends, most of us would probably think of big names in the pro scene or our favorite streamers. But how many of those names would happen to be women? Not to brag, but I've never seen a woman play League of Legends before in my immediate vicinity, and you'd be hard pressed to think of a name in Challenger. Anyway, back in 2017 and 18, there was a certain player that was known for being a woman and being really freaking good. How good, you ask? She was known for solo killing some names that you may recognize. You know, really small streamers like Faker and Pujatang. No one too big.
이대로 안 들어오시면 될 것 같은데. 뭐야?
두 번은 안 당하지.
Oh yeah, and she solo killed Yukao, at the time KT's mid laner, 6 times. Yukao was part of the KT squad that won LCK, so he wasn't just a run-of-the-mill pro.
Is completed. They're already off their seat. Game 5.
And that guy ended up with 13 deaths, 5 of which were just from the laning phase. Yochemi, which is probably an abbreviation for best girl mid, was quite well known in the KR scene for her insane mechanics on Anivia and Aurelion Sol. Both champions that were notoriously difficult mechanically and terrifyingly useless in the wrong hands. Aurelion Sol in particular was difficult and had abysmal win rates because people could not play him properly. They just didn't know how to maximize his damage because of his weird passive and W interaction. I actually think it wouldn't be a stretch to say that she was one of the best ASOL and Anivia players in the world.
Limit, firing up their damage and speed.
The tragedy of having a major online presence is that anyone and everyone can and will scrutinize every aspect of your life. Once she started streaming her games, it didn't take long for some people to start speculating. Maybe her boyfriend's playing while she's talking. Maybe she's paying the people in her games to start inting her. Sick of these claims, she eventually started streaming her hand and put a camera behind her so people could actually see her play. Eventually it became a full face cam stream, but the accusations didn't stop. If anything, they expanded to chats regarding her gender and really messed up crap. It didn't seem to matter at the time though. She was still making plays, still beating up big names in lane.
내일 뵙도록 하겠습니다. 다들 좋은 다들 좋은 밤 보내세요. 내일 뵐게요. 안녕. 바이바이.
And that was the last anyone heard from her in a while. Her streams had stopped, there were no more announcements and no more YouTube uploads. What became apparent was that the harassment had been so bad that in 2020, after this commenter vented his frustrations at people begging her to return, she actually replied with, "You use telepathy," indicating that most, if not everything that this commenter had said held true for the reason she left streaming, potentially for good. On the 21st of December 2023, she would post on her Africa TV announcements that she was finally back, but probably not in the way people wanted. She announced that she had made a new YouTube channel called Seren Hold'em, probably a reference to Texas Hold'em, and she would stream poker-related content on YouTube. There was no indication that she had once played League of Legends, and perhaps she just wanted to distance herself from her previous identity. The tragic part is that amongst the inactivity and the drastic transition in genre, she would find herself struggling to gain traction in terms of followers. And as of uploading this video, she has not streamed since the 3rd of January 2024. Whether she had intentions to start a new YouTube career, we'll never know, but given that she had given up streaming for a significant amount of time, she's probably doing just fine. Nonetheless, the community would lose the most promising female player that the Korean community had ever seen. Sick of these claims, she eventually started streaming her hand and putting a camera behind her so that people could actually see her play. But the accusations didn't stop. Eventually though, all the harassment had got to her. And that was the last anyone heard from her in a while. Son of a bitch behind me making so much noise. And that was the last anyone heard from her in a while. Her streams had stopped. Can you...